Obviously, you're using a lot of lineups that are unfamiliar with each other. How do you go about assessing a game like that and some of the defensive breakdowns that happened early?
Well, yeah, I think that my probably main two concerns assessing that game are just that, a lot of defensive breakdowns of well, just breakdowns of schemes and coverages, and it kind of started early with just poor transition, right? We weren't getting matched up very well. Second quarter, we finally start running back and making a play, execute pretty well in a lot of the schemes and stuff we're doing, but it just wasn't nearly consistent enough. Just blown coverages and blown schemes like haven't felt before.
Like a lot of the double teams, especially, or the traps, like were particularly, again, not like you've seen recently.
Yeah.
Is that just chalked up to these guys don't play together a lot, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a little bit of that, but it's just mistakes. We just made a lot of mistakes, right? The wrong guy doubled, the wrong direction, things like that. Just not executing what was supposed to be executed. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go too crazy here. There's a really good, motivated team over there with a lot of scorers and shooters, and our guys aren't feeling great, right? A couple of our guys that came back are still coming off sickness and things like that. So I'm not gonna sit here and go crazy and get all over everybody here. We will learn from what we can learn and just try to regroup. Got a day off tomorrow, and we'll just hope guys start coming back, and the guys that did get a play should help them for the next time, that haven't played for a bit, get some of that out of them, get their legs underneath them, get some conditioning back, etc.
I'll ask you about a positive another night where Thad does a lot of good things. During this stretch with so many guys in and out, how much of a steadying presence has he been?
He's been good, right? I think that he just kind of continues to do the same thing, 8 or 10, 12 shots, shoots a pretty high percentage, gets a solid number of rebounds, is doing a good job leadership-wise too. He's good in the huddles, and he's trying to keep those guys going, things like that. So he's been a true pro.
Looking ahead, was Freddie's absence tonight, is that the continuation of what it was? Like he just never really got healthy, or is this something new? And I mean, could he be back as soon as Saturday?
He could be back, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think it probably went away and came back, right? That's what I would think. If he was able to play as much as he did, I doubt if he kind of still had it. So I would imagine he got something again.
You guys held Durant to just 12 points, but he's plus 30. What does that say about what he's able to do to your defense or when he's on the court?
Well, he's always been a guy that makes the right play when we send schemes at him. When he shakes loose one-on-one, he usually shoots it, and if he's double-teamed, he gets off it. And that's what he did tonight.
Coach, you had some comments the other day about Gary Trent Jr. and how you kind of wanted to see more from him. How do you think he's reacted to, I guess, your feedback and how the conversation's been with him? Well,
I think that he's okay, but I think he's just working his way back in. Like, he's been out quite a few games. He's also had the sickness. I don't think he's in top condition right now. I think he did what he could do tonight. Was decent offensively. I'll have to look a little bit at the defensive stuff, but I thought he did what he could do tonight, and working himself back into condition is good to get him 30 minutes out there tonight.
I mean, OG, how do you assess a game like that? Obviously, you're shorthanded, but on the other hand, they're coming in off back-to-back, and you guys are well rested. And I mean, do you think the effort was what it should have been? Do you think the execution was what it should have been?
We know we're shorthanded, but we don't like to make excuses, so we know we could have executed better. We could have played harder on defense, executed better on offense, and then for some possessions we got good shots. Some didn't go in. Sometimes they did go in, but just we felt like we could have played better.
What have you, what have you learned over the past few games, being seen and treated like a primary option by the other teams? Defenses change, they change over the course of games. They did in this one too. What have you learned by getting all that extra attention?
Just reading the defense, reading where the open man will be, reading, looking for the roll, looking for the weak side, and then just being more patient in the paint. And then even after this one, like I'll go watch the film, see what they did, see where I could have been better.
When you've been watching film the past few games, what have you been finding? Like, oh, that maybe I can do that, maybe I can do this, that kind of stuff.
Just slowing down my finishes, trying to be more patient. Knowing sometimes I can't get all the way to the rim. Sometimes it's a touch shot. Sometimes it's a pump fake. Just reading defense that way.
OG, you've been on the other team's best player quite a bit throughout your career. Does it get any do you still get up to play a guy like KD?
Yeah, of course.
Is it still a special night for you? Or?
Oh yeah, always playing one of the best players ever. Yeah, it's always exciting.
Doesn't get old.
No, never get old. It's a blessing.
With all the craziness of the last few weeks, guys in and out, how much of a steadying presence has Thad been, both on and off the court?
Oh, Thad's been great. Thad's just a great teammate to have. He's a calming presence for everyone. He's just a professional, just a great guy.
In his 1100th game today, and he's only 3 other people on had, I think, currently have as many games as that. Like, just can you kind of talk about his longevity in the league and why you think he's been able to hang around so long?
He just does what he has to do. He's always been a great player, great teammate. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Could you imagine playing 1,100 games?
Pardon?
Can you imagine you playing 1,100 games?
Oh yeah, I can imagine that.
100%.
Obviously, you guys came out really strong in the first half, kind of fell off in the second half. What happened?
I think they made some adjustments, and we should have made some adjustments too. Kyrie got it going, so I think we did a really good job at first to get them out of the game, and then they found a way to get them back in the game, and we had a slow start in the third, so I think those are the things that we gotta get better at. Even though we're missing guys, it's not an excuse to not play hard and give us a better chance to win.
How tough is it though to kind of stay motivated, stay ready, and energized when you are down almost half your roster?
I mean, it's your job to come here and be ready to play, and obviously it's hard with the main guys that we're missing and all, but I think it's a way for us to get better, the guys off the bench, and find ways to help the team, and that was the moment for us. Obviously we fell into it, but we just got to get better, and whoever coming in here on the court to be ready to play against them, and obviously we didn't shoot it well and all that, so those games like that, but we got to play a lot harder.
Obviously, you came back this game. You were out before. How did it feel for you to be back out there?
Definitely. I mean, I definitely felt it a little bit first game, but I have no excuse. Obviously, I missed a lot of shots, and in and out or not, I got to do better at that. Yeah, obviously, I think it feels good to be out there and get my win back, and hopefully the next game to do a lot better than today.
The game was pretty solid overall for it as a team, and then second half kind of fell off. What happened in your eyes?
Yeah, I think first half as a collective unit, we just played hard, played together. We had a lot of guys down with injuries, so it was just next man mentality. It was just a great opportunity for us bench guys to just step up and do what was needed to be done. And second half, I guess we just kind of got away from our game plan a little bit, and we just had to try to do what we did in the first half, execute that in the second half.
How do you measure your own success when you're asked to play or more minutes or step into a kind of a bigger role at this point in the season?
Yeah, no, honestly, I just do whatever the coaching staff asks me to do. As far as if that's playing 94 feet defense, hitting open shots, finding guys in their different spots. Just doing whatever I have to do to help the guys, feel comfortable and help those guys win. So whatever coaching staff asks me to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
Obviously, Nick Nurse, he spoke in the presser earlier as well, just saying that the expectations, given the fact that you guys are playing against Kevin Durant and Kyrie and a relatively healthy Brooklyn squad versus you guys are pretty depleted right now. So he just said he's not going to harp too much into it. But like, you know, when you do take a loss in this type of way, like, how do you come back from that? How do you like approach Dallas?
Yeah, you know, every time you take a loss, you definitely learn from it. And, you know, we'll probably watch a lot of film tomorrow and just take care of our bodies. But just, you know, see what we did wrong and just kind of harp on that and just kind of fix those mistakes and then execute that game plan into Dallas.
How did you feel about your own performance?
I thought I played pretty well, not too bad. You know, like I said earlier, kind of, you know, pick guys up 94 feet, play a lot of defense, try to get in passing lanes, kind of speed up ball handlers a lot, and just kind of get guys involved, knock down open shots whenever I can, just kind of play my game.
Thanks, Ben.
Is that the secret to playing 1,100 games?
Yeah, just taking care of your body, just at all costs, just making sure that, you know, after these games, you're cold tubbing it, you're hot tubbing it, you're getting on the training table and getting some manual therapy, just every single thing. Just making sure that, you know, you take care of your body at all costs.
I mean, roughly after each game, how much time would you put in?
Probably like 30 to 40 minutes. Usually my wife and kids are waiting on me and texting me and saying, what's taking so long? I'm usually the last guy in the locker room and stuff like that. But, you know, they understand that in order for me to continue to keep chugging along, I have to continuously take care of my body and make sure that I'm doing the things that, you know, I need to continue to play. And that's what I'm teaching, you know, my young sons, you know, just taking care of your body and making sure that you do the things that you need to do.
Does it change much when you play, like you played 28, I think tonight, 35 the other night versus 15 or 20? Like, does it change?
No, it's the same. It's the same, regardless if I play or I don't play. I try to keep the same regimen. I try to make sure that I'm still doing all the same stuff. Cold tubbing it every day, hot tubbing it every day. You know, just making sure that, you know, I'm getting the manual therapy and the treatment, and, you know, just continuing to just take care of the body. You know, because that's the way we play. That's the way you get to playing 1,100 games and having a long career.
Yeah, who was your vet? Like, who taught you all that stuff?
I had plenty of vets. Andre Iguodala, Elton Brand, Daniel Marshall, Theo Ratliff. Like, just watching, you know, all those guys. Just, you know, Andre Miller, like, on down the line. Just watching guys just continuously, like, do certain things when they're in year 13, 14, 15, and, you know, the stuff that they're doing is continuously keeping them going. And, you know, so, you know, I'm very happy and ecstatic that I can continue to still play at a high level, and hopefully I can continue to sustain and do it for many more years.
Thad, Nick was saying that your leadership during this stretch where the team's been shorthanded has been huge in terms of teaching the guys what it is to be a pro. What has your message been to those guys?
Just continuously, like, staying the course, understanding that, you know, we have to play basketball a certain way in order for us to win basketball games. We don't have, you know, we didn't have Fred, we don't have Pascal out there. You know, we don't have certain guys that's going to help us and that's going to do all the scoring for us. So, you know, we have to put ourselves in a position as a team to continue to, you know, be able to win basketball games. And we were pretty good for you know, half of the game. You know, it's just, you know, when you got guys like on the other side, like Kyrie and KD, you know, you put so much attention on those guys, and then once they start getting hot, it's kind of hard to stop them. But, you know, for us, you know, it's just about staying the course and just making sure that we're doing the right things, because the margin for error is very, very slim, you know, when you don't have your guys out there, your main guys.
Earlier in the season, when you weren't getting the opportunity to play, do you have to, like, remind yourself of you know, being that pro, or is it something that's just second nature now?
There's no reminding myself of being a pro. It's just who I am as a player. It's who I am as a man. You know, regardless if the situation is going my way or not, you know, I only know one thing, and that's to work. Put my head down, continue to grind, continue to work, and to continue to make sure that, you know, I'm doing the things that, you know, that Toronto Raptors brought me here for, to help these young guys continue to chug along and continue to get better as a group. But also, when it's time for me to step in and do my job to the best of my abilities, and while I'm doing my job, to be able to show them, like, this is how we should be playing basketball. This is how the game is played. This is how you stick around for a long period of time. And this is how you get people on your side to make them continuously want to give you jobs, or want to have you around, or want you to be that professional or that vet that's going to help the locker room.
What do you learn from the younger players on the team, and also, I guess, just what do you learn from your own children?
I mean, you can learn a lot from the young guys, just how they kind of like see the game and how the game has changed and how they're adapting their games to all the other young guys that's going in this league. My kids, they don't really teach me a lot as of right now, but they're learning and growing. And that's the one thing about, like, both of my sons. They both listen. They both understand basketball. They both know how to play the game. And I'm teaching them the right way to play the game, not just go out there and score, but have intangibles, have all the small things down first, and then you can get to the scoring. Like, that's going to come. Like, they're at such a young age, they're very gullible. So you don't want them to learn and create bad habits. You want them to have good habits. You want them to continuously go out there and be able to play the right way. And it's the same thing with the young guys on this team. You don't want them to create bad habits, because bad habits, don't get you to 16. It gets you to 5. It gets you to 7. And then, you're looking for a job. I'm trying to have these young guys play as long as I'm playing.
Could you have imagined playing this long, 16 years, 1,100 games when you first came in?
I think me and Fred was just like talking about this, on a plane, and he was saying, did you imagine this? And I'm like, nah, honestly, I just wanted to make it, and then I wanted to play, 5 years, and then 5 went to 10, and then 10 went to 15, and now I'm at 16. So, when you're just playing basketball and you're just having fun and you're just enjoying life, and time flies by. I still remember the first day I was drafted and came to this league 7 days after my 19th birthday, and I was obviously happy and ecstatic, but the work had just begun for me, and I knew that I was going to continuously work in order to continue to put myself in a position to where I'll be in the league for a long time.
In those 16 seasons, has there ever been a situation like this where the amount of players, the long stretch of time of injuries and illnesses ever dragged on this long?
I wouldn't say that. I would probably. It's been a couple times where like I was in situations like that where, but I was I was one of the starters at that point. When those things were happening. But this is a very unfortunate time for us, but the good thing is we can continue to try to get better and get the young guys better, and we still can put ourselves in position to win basketball games. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, we're still in the early part of the season, and we still have a chance to do really well. The good thing for us is these injuries are happening right now, and when these guys come back, we're going to have guys who hadn't played, that's played now, that's groomed, and they understand how to play an NBA basketball game. They understand how to come in and contribute, the way we need them to contribute, and it'll be easy for them to step in and fulfill a role.
When it comes to, you get pinch post possessions with the Raptors, and famously this season, guys like Pascal and Luka are the players who get those currently.
Right.
Post-ups aren't that popular.
Right.
Is it cool to be able to do like a throwback? You talked about being a star early in your career, to those types of creation possessions.
I just try to play to the point of like how it makes us a better team. Like, I'm not looking for certain things to do, or if it's throwback or not. I'm just trying to get us the best shot possible, and that's You know, it may be in the pinch post, that may be in the low post area, that may be like me taking the ball as a transporter from side to side and getting guys downhill to where, you know, if they do go up and they miss a shot, I can get the offensive rebound. So just like small things, you know, those small things lead to, you know, one overall thing, and that's the win a basketball game. So just trying to do all the small things.
You mentioned the people who were your vets when you got into the league, but did you have an appreciation for vets who had been in the league for a long time before you got in?
Yeah, of course. Like, I had an appreciation for, like, everybody who's in the league, you know, because, you know, they've done something to get them to that point. You know, you watch guys, they might not be the best guys, but they've done something. And you admire, you know, their work and what they do. And, you know, I think that's what's made me a better player, just admiring bits and pieces of everybody's game. And it was like looking at certain guys like, man, I want to play just as hard as he does. Like one of the guys that, you know, nobody really ever thinks of, you know, is a guy named Reggie Evans. You know, rebounding machine, worked his butt off, like, played a long time in the league, and like I was fortunate and blessed enough to have him as a teammate, and he taught me a lot of stuff about playing hard, like, you know, just going out there and just giving it your all. And, you know, from watching him and seeing him, you know, that turned my mindset completely different to go out and make sure that I'm doing that every single night, you know, because those are the guys who last long periods of time.
What's been the biggest area of progress that you've seen from the guys that don't typically get this amount of minutes?
Say that again?
What's been the biggest area of progress that you have seen from your teammates that don't get this amount of minutes normally?
The guys are they're learning. Like, they're learning, and you know, some of the guys, you know, they're going out there and they're scoring the basketball, but they're also remaining poised and trying to figure things out of how to run the offense, or trying to figure things out like, this is going to be the spot that I'm going to, you know, make the team better, and like rebound the basketball. Like, they're giving bits and pieces of every single thing. Like, you know, not having Pascal, not having Fred, like, those are huge voids to fill. And, you know, if we can get bits and pieces from every guy that's going to, like, play that didn't play, then it'll put us in a great position. You know, so that's what we've been trying to get, just bits and pieces from everybody. And guys have been doing their jobs. You know, it's just, you know, the ball's just not falling in our, and didn't fall in our favor tonight.